Hey there, GBR Life community. Caitlin here, back with another tech review. And today's tool, it's one that had me going, wait, you can actually edit videos by editing text? Because if so, where has this been all of my life? At least that's when I had first heard about it. And what am I talking about? We're talking about Descript, the editing software that claims to turn your videos and podcasts into magic with an AI-powered text editor. But is it a game changer or just another cool in theory, meh in reality tool? Let's find out right after my intro.
Capture tales in text, it's a written quest. Life's pages turn our treasure chest. Ink spills truth, not a bit less. Our blog shines where the heart confess. Yeah,
so that was fun.
The motherhood maze, balancing acts in the life's grand ballet. Stay engaged.
All right, so Descript is basically a video and audio editing meets Google Docs. And instead of cutting and trimming video clips, manually delete a sentence in the transcript and yes, it will disappear in the video. It's not like sorcery, but it is, yes, this is amazing. The other thing that it does claim to have is studio quality audio enhancements, at least. And it can help with background noise, AI voice cloning, and really just making your stuff look a lot more professional in a way that requires you to do a whole lot less. Plus, you can do multi-track editing, because you're going to tell it within the actual tool if it is an audio or if it's video. So let's take a look inside so you can see what I'm talking about at this point. Okay, so here we are inside of Descript. First and foremost, it's underwhelming when you look at it. Sign up is very easy, like it always is. It's just, if you have a Google account, you can do that, or just sign up with your email. The first thing you're going to see is projects, quick recordings, learn, AI speakers, layout packs, private workspace, and then this is the workspace that we're currently on. That's all good and dandy, and you can click around inside of here and you can record inside of Descript. You can create a new project. You can learn about Descript because I'm literally just clicking over so you can see. You have those AI speakers. You can add a new speaker. So essentially what it's going to do here is find out about your voice or create an AI speaker that you're going to want to use. And then you have layout packs. You can click new layout pack and then go ahead and add the layout, record, import from Zoom, any of that over here. You can see more layouts. There we go. So here you go. And you can see a few that are an option. But I'm actually going to go back to the front because I think what everyone is actually looking for, I'm just going back. What everyone wants to actually see at this point is for me to show you how to create a new project. If I select video project, I would add in what? A video. If I select audio, I'm adding in an audio, right? So let me go ahead and select CapCut, which I did edit through Descript. Now, here what you're seeing is my video. You're seeing elements that I can add, things I can do to the video itself, and the wonderful transcripts. It does take about a minute or two. If it's a longer video, maybe 3 to 5 minutes to upload the video. But what they're doing is they're pulling that transcript. And of course, that also means when you export, you have the opportunity, see those subtitles, which are the transcripts, the transcript itself, but this is the SRT file, I believe is what it is. Yeah, SRT file. And then you have the transcript. You've got timelines, GIF, audio, and video for exporting. And essentially it's a 2-in-1 on that capacity. Now you are seeing exactly what that transcript came out as. I'm always dealing with my name spelled as Caitlin. It is not spelled that way, so you all need to know it is Kaitlyn, Caitlin. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to see how great this is. So if I were to go right over here and I wanted to delete hey, I could just go right here and say delete. I did it off of my computer. And that part of the video is now gone. Am I concerned about that? Not really. This video is already out and edited and all that fun stuff. So it's something as simple as that. Now, I do have, let me see if I can find any ums. I think I actually took all of those out. But the way that they'll come up is this right here. If I click on that, you will see that it says add scene. I can correct this, correct all that says well and change it to something else. I can regenerate what was just there, so I could technically go back and regenerate. Strike through, which is ignore, bold, italic. I can highlight it, duplicate, and add a comment. Let's see some of these additional options. You can change the speaker, and this is what I'm almost positive I selected the last time, which is to remove the filler words. That's all your filler. Play, preview section, cut, copy, paste, duplicate, delete, view media. So it does quite a lot within this document. And say you're somebody who likes to edit a little bit with the actual sound waves. Here they are. You can edit that way. This is the slicer tool. This is the select. And then I like to use my keyboard and just press delete, or that's pretty much it, because that's usually what I'm using it for on Descript. Because remember, I can change things right here, which also means that I can take off entire sections of my video by simply selecting an entire sentence. We're diving into CapCut. If I go ahead and press delete, that will be gone. This part of the video will completely disappear, and it will go from, instead of we're diving into CapCut, I would say, but does it actually deliver? And then go, okay, I know you know this app, which I do know you know that app, but you should still go check out that video. Anyways, so it has all of those options. But in addition to all of that, again, you have the ability to add text to your video, some basic shapes. You can add a placeholder. This is really good for things like intros or outros, annotations, waveforms, dynamic text, playback progress, overlays. But I will say this, using some of these options over here is probably something you're going to want to do in an actual video editor. I think that Descript is amazing though at getting rid of what is the most annoying part of editing, all the extra garbage that you don't want there. And there is another tool that can help with chapters and everything else. And I was going to add it to this video, but I think I'm going to go ahead and discuss it in a video, maybe next week, maybe the week after, because there's another tool that I just found out about that is currently in beta, and I want all of you to know about too. So stay tuned for that. But getting back to Descript, let's talk some pros and cons. Okay, so let's talk pros. It's text-based, which means it's revolutionary. Even though a few other places do that as well, the way that Descript does it and the fact that it can immediately take out the sections of the videos and the audio without it being weird, because it does add in this little buffer in between, it's quite amazing. There's also audio transcription, because that's what you're doing it based off of, and it's pretty accurate. I can't say, other than having things misspelled, like my name, that it's getting things wrong in what I say. Yeah, it might get GBR Life wrong, and say JBR Life, but that's also because of the way that I pronounce things. And since I know that, technically I could say GBR Life when I say it, so that this would be able to edit it better. Or I just do a really quick update, because remember, you can literally select it and correct. It doesn't just correct one word. It'll look for all of that same incorrect word in the entire document. So if it said GBR Life wrong, it probably did it the same way and on the entire document. And I just say, hey, it's find and replace. Go ahead and find all of this, replace it all, just like a Word document or a Google Doc. Plus, you do not have to manually type out any transcript, because of course it's already doing that in an automatic way. It's using AI. Now, the sound I did not show you on this. The sound is pretty good. They do have the ability for you to just select a button and it will enhance the audio. I will say though, if anybody is looking for good audio, focus more on the microphone you're using because AI can only do so much. So make sure you have a really good microphone first, and then any of those AI tools can probably help your audio. I personally use the Shure, I think it's the Shure 77. It's the one that everybody uses in the industry right now. They are not overly expensive, but they're not cheap either. But I would heavily suggest, again, a good microphone, whatever your price and budget is. The next thing is it's also really good at overdubbing. In other words, you don't have to re-record because that means I don't have to set up my microphone to fix one word or one sentence or even adding in something really quick. It does that for me. And the best thing, filler word removal. Now, let's talk those cons. It does take a couple tries to learn it. Not because it's difficult. As you saw, it's actually quite basic on the inside. But you have to select around to figure out where to click in order to make it happen. I couldn't even find that timeline on the bottom in order to edit via the waves, the vocal waves. I don't know what that's called because my brain is not working right now, but it did take me a moment to find that and be able to edit and learn how to slice and delete and things. But once I did learn, it was pretty easy to figure out from there. In other words, I found it and I went, oh, what does this do? Oh, hovered over a little bit and it said that it was the slicer. Boom, there you go. That makes sense. And so I started using it. And it also saves the version. So if you make a mistake, you can actually go back to the latest version before you made that mistake. But the AI voices aren't perfect. So another issue here is you can't really use AI voices as a go-to. It's good to have, but not good to rely on. And some features are locked behind the paywall, which we will be talking about the pricing. The free version is fine, but what you saw me using was actually Pro. And I got Pro because I didn't want to have to stop myself from being able to use pretty much everything how I wanted to use it. And lastly, it's heavy on processing power. If you're using an old computer, it might lag. But now let's get into pricing. Okay. Here are your prices. $12, $24, or $40, but that's on the annual. If I look over at the business, it's $19, $35, or $50. Obviously, annual is cheaper. It literally says that you're going to save 35% with the annual. And more importantly, there is a free plan. I'm going to tell you right now, the limitations on the free plan are enough to stop you from wanting to continue with free and wanting to end up paying at least 19 or 35, unless you go annual, 12 or 24 a year, month, depending on how you want to say that or look at that. But it basically gives you, if you're going free, transcription, basic editing, and a little bit of overdub voice cloning, which you don't want to use that anyways. And then there's the creator plan, right? Or hobbyist. On this, it literally says 10 transcription hours, 1080p watermark free, 20 uses a month of basic AI suite, including filler word removals, studio sound, draft show notes, create clips, and more. And I didn't go into the show notes, but the reason for that is because if it already created the transcript, the show notes is typically part of any sort of tool out there that can pull that transcript. Most of them have now added the AI ability to create the show notes. In other words, create the chapters. It has the transcript added, but it'll also add like a quick summary of what you just talked about and things like that, your show notes. And then there's also 30 minutes a month of AI speech with stock AI speakers, custom voice clones, and that is pretty much it on your creator hobbyist plan. And then, not creator, I'm sorry, I keep saying the wrong thing, the hobbyist plan. But then there's creator. Already there's a significant difference because you have 30 transcription hours. You can export in 4K. You have an unlimited use of basic and advanced AI suite, including eye contact, translation, and pretty much all the AI features. 2 hours a month of AI speech, 30 minutes of dubbing in 20 plus languages, and then unlimited access to royalty-free stock library. I didn't mention that you could use that dubbing in different languages, and that could be beneficial for some of you if you want to change your stuff from one language into the next. Might as well. But if it's not something, remember, it's not the best. So there are other tools out there. And if you know of any tools that you absolutely love for that, please drop that in the description below, because I definitely want to use that myself. And then there is your business. 40 of the transcription, and then pretty much everything else. But you have 5 hours of the AI speech, 2 hours a month of the dubbing instead of the 30 minutes. And you've got priority support. So they give you an SLA on how long it's actually going to take to help you, which is quite nice. They obviously find you important. And then the one part that I didn't mention at all is your enterprise. So those are for giant companies. They're going to give you everything and do everything and make you feel like you are VIP. There you go, enterprise. And now it's time for GBR Life ratings. Let's discuss. First and foremost, overall performance. What am I going to rate this? A 4.5 out of 5. The tool is seriously smart. It works extremely well on what it says it's going to do. And while it's not flawless, so I had to take 0.5 away, this tool is way better than a lot of AI tools doing what this claims to do, but this one actually doesn't. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've used a lot of tools out there. This one hasn't been a secret of mine for too long, but I have absolutely used it on more than one occasion, on more than one video, and it has made my life way easier and my editing take way less time. I can't even say it's taken away half of the time. It's taken away probably 75% of the time it used to take me to edit. Plus, once you get used to the text-based editing, sky's the limit. Yeah, I would give it a 5. It's just that AI cloning part, but it's gonna get there. I have hope for you, Descript functionality. So from editing to AI voice cloning, the podcast level audio fixes are pretty stacked. So it's got to get a 5 out of 5. Again, this tool does not lie on its capability and again, that functionality. It is there. So 5 out of 5. Value for money? I hate to say it, but 4 out of 5. Yeah, the free version has its limits, but you do have a free version, so technically anybody can use this right now. And it's not a horrible price. It's pretty standard. It's pretty average for what AI is charging these days. And it's way better. It's powerful. It actually does what it says it's going to do. Yeah, 4 out of 5. I wish it was a 5 out of 5 and it would be cheaper. It's not, but it is worth what you are spending on it, truly. So is Descript worth it? Out of all the ratings? Clearly, yes. The ability to edit like a document is a game changer when you're especially editing for YouTube or for a podcast. you don't want to take forever to do this, especially for something like this. I'm doing reviews. I just found out about a new tool that is in beta right now. I'm going to get that out to you guys as soon as humanly possible. So I do not have the time to edit all this, nor do I want to spend all the money or go to a professional editor unless I'm at that level of creating these videos consistently all day, every day. And I no longer have a 9-to-5 job, but I do. And so therefore, it's me editing. And I want it to be quick and easy because I want to get it out to you once a week with no problem. I would do it even more than that if you guys just subscribe and make it so that I can tell all of you about all of these reviews all the time. Don't you want to see my face all the time? You do. I know you do. I know. Okay. Have you tried Descript? Do you love it or do you hate it? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on all the notifications so you don't miss the next GBR Life review, especially the one that I'm going to do next week because it is in beta, which means not everybody is using it. And I'm not going to tell you the name because I want to review it and be one of the first ones out there. And remember, with all of my content on gbrlife.com and the fabulous Mama Koala clothing line. By the way, it is not just all koalas. It is a bunch of different designs because someone said that to me recently and said, is it mostly just koala designs? No, it's called Mama Koala, but it's everything. So go check it out. It's a great clothing line. And back to my wonderful tagline, you don't have to be without GBR Life in your life. I cannot wait until I can see you all next week with the latest and greatest of a new tool that's out there that I think you all might like because I don't even know yet. I'm seeing it for myself first to find out before you have to. You don't have to waste the money. I'll waste the money. Be sure to check out my video from last week, which was CapCut, so that you can determine if this is something you want to continue to use in your life. And until then, subscribe and click on that bell notification so you do not miss out on the latest and greatest video. See you all next week. Bye.